Sabine Hoffman never imagined a simple Facebook message would completely upend her life at 52. It was March 2019, and the Dusseldorf divorcee had spent 3 lonely years trying to rebuild after a bitter 20-year marriage ended. Her life had settled into a predictable, quiet rhythm. Long shifts as a nurse at the local hospital, caring for her elderly mother, and occasional, subdued outings with her few remaining friends. It was during one of those lonely evenings, scrolling absently through social media, that a friend request caught her eye. The profile picture showed a handsome, dark-haired man in his mid-40s with a charming smile and piercing eyes. His name was Kemal Uskin, and according to his profile, he was from Istanbul, Turkey. His photos painted a picture of a prosperous life. A well-dressed man in front of a modern office, dinners at sophisticated restaurants, international travel, and an apartment with a stunning view of the Bosphorus. His first message was simple and respectful. "Hello, beautiful German lady," he wrote in functional, if slightly broken, English. "I saw your profile and was impressed by your kindness. I hope we can be friends." Sabine was hesitant. Unsolicited messages from foreign men were unusual, but there was something about his polite approach that intrigued her. After years of loneliness, the attention, even virtual, stirred a long-forgotten feeling. Their initial conversations were cautious. Kemal introduced himself as a successful businessman in the import-export sector, specializing in textiles between Turkey and Europe. He spoke passionately about Istanbul and demonstrated a knowledge of German culture that impressed Sabine. He asked about her work, showed genuine interest in her daily life, and gradually began sharing more personal details. "My wife died 5 years ago from cancer," Kemal revealed during a WhatsApp call after 2 weeks of daily chatting. "Since then, I have focused only on work, but I miss having someone special to share my life with." The words struck a deep chord in Sabine, who was still grappling with the loss of her father and the emotional wreckage of her divorce. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Kemal became a constant, comforting presence. "Good morning, my German angel," he would message. "How was your shift at the hospital, my dear? I am thinking of you here in Istanbul." Their chats evolved into voice calls, and Sabine found herself enchanted by his smooth voice and Turkish accent. What truly set Kemal apart was his apparent financial stability. He often spoke of important deals, international contracts, and successful investments. He sent photos of expensive meals, business trips to Dubai and London, and his modern office. "I work hard, but God has blessed me with success," he would say with feigned humility. Crucially, in these first few months, he never asked for money. On the contrary, he frequently offered Sabine financial help and gifts. This initial generosity completely disarmed her. "I've finally found a man who isn't interested in my money," she thought, unaware she was being meticulously groomed for an elaborate trap. The change in Sabine was noticeable. Her co-workers commented on her newfound smile and energy. "I've met someone special," she confided in her best friend, Petra Vogel, proudly showing her Kemal's photos. "He's unlike any man I've ever met." Petra, a pragmatic 48-year-old accountant, was skeptical from the start. "Don't you think it's strange that a successful, handsome businessman is so interested in a woman he's never met?" she asked over coffee. "And if he has so much money, why can't he come to you?" But Sabine, now emotionally invested, saw this as jealousy. "You don't understand, Petra," she replied, irritated. "Kemal is different. He truly loves me. I finally found someone who values me." Her friend's doubts only strengthened her resolve to prove them wrong. Kemal demonstrated an uncanny ability to target Sabine's deepest insecurities and unmet needs. "Sabine, my love, you deserve to be treated like a queen," he would say during their video calls. "Your ex-husband was a fool for not appreciating such a special woman." His words were a balm to the wounds left by her critical and distant ex-husband, Klaus. He also displayed a surprising knowledge of German culture, citing films like Das Boot, mentioning authors like Thomas Mann, and talking about traditional dishes. "I have always dreamed of experiencing Oktoberfest in Munich," he confided. "But now my biggest dream is to stroll with you through the Christmas markets in Dusseldorf." These specific references made Sabine feel uniquely understood. By the fourth month, their conversations grew more strategic. Kamal began asking seemingly innocent questions about her work. "It must be difficult to deal with so much suffering every day," he'd say with feigned compassion. "How does a hospital manage its finances? It must be complex." Flattered, Sabine would explain administrative systems, international transfers for equipment, and banking protocols. "You're so smart," Kamal would praise her. "A woman with your experience could work anywhere." The emotional escalation was carefully orchestrated. At the start of the 6th month, Kamal began pressing for a meeting. "My heart can no longer bear being away from you," he declared during an emotional video call, tears welling in his eyes. "I need to hold your hand, to look into your eyes for real, not through a cold screen." The plans were meticulous. He explained he had a crucial business meeting in Dubai but would make a stopover just for her. "We close million-euro deals there," he said, showing her what appeared to be legitimate contracts. "But I would cancel any business for you, my love." The choice of Dubai was strategic, a symbol of wealth and neutrality, a place where Sabine would feel isolated. "Why don't we meet in Dubai?" Kamal suggested with calculated enthusiasm. "I can pay for your first-class ticket. Book the presidential suite at the Burj Al Arab. It will be our honeymoon before the wedding." The proposal was extravagantly romantic, exactly what Sabine, after years of a dull marriage, craved. She hesitated. "Kamal, I love you, but this is a big step. Dubai is so far away." "I understand your concerns, my love," he replied with apparent empathy. "A smart woman should be cautious, but love requires courage. Remember, you had the courage to accept my friend request. Now I need you to have the courage to take the next step toward our happiness." To quell her doubts, Kamal staged an elaborate stunt. He arranged a video call from his office in Istanbul, showing employees at work and an impressive city view. He even introduced her to his business partner, Hassan, who confirmed Kamal's legitimacy and his love for Sabine. This third-party validation was the final push she needed. The emotional pressure intensified. "Sabine, I need to know if you really love me," he said during a tense call. "If we can't meet after 6 months, maybe we should rethink our future. I can't love someone who doesn't trust me enough for a leap of faith." Cornered, Sabine finally relented during a tearful phone call. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll book my vacation. I'll go to Dubai to meet you." Her friends, especially Petra, intensified their warnings. "Sabine, this is exactly the scam we see on TV. Perfect man, exotic location. Please reconsider." But Sabine, now fully immersed in the fantasy, retorted, "You don't understand true love. Kamal values me." She began to distance herself from her concerned friends, isolating herself perfectly for the trap. On September 1st, 2019, Sabine bought her ticket to Dubai for September 15th. She didn't know she was purchasing a ticket to her worst nightmare. September 15th arrived. Sabine had taken a week off, spent nearly 1,000 euros on new clothes, and had her hair and nails done. She had even lost 6 pounds. She was ready to start her new life. The flight from Frankfurt was a 6-hour roller coaster of excitement and nerves. She exchanged messages with Kamal until boarding. "I can't wait to hold you in my arms, my German angel," he wrote. "I'm at the hotel with red roses and champagne. It will be magical." Dubai International Airport was a spectacle of grandeur that dwarfed her expectations. She followed Kamal's instructions to the letter, heading to the lotus-shaped fountain at Gate B7, where he promised to be waiting with red roses. 15 minutes passed, then 30, an hour. Her smile faded. She sent a WhatsApp message. "I'm here, my love. Where are you?" No response. She called his number. An automated message informed her the number was out of service. Panic rising, she checked Facebook. His profile was gone. She opened WhatsApp. All their conversations, every declaration of love had vanished. Erased. For 2 hours, she stubbornly searched the airport, showing his photo to security, checking flight information from Istanbul. All leads went nowhere. The final, devastating blow came when she discovered his company website was offline and, upon further research, found no such business was registered in Turkey. Sitting on a cold plastic chair, surrounded by happy travelers, the truth crashed down on her. She was alone in a foreign country, her savings spent, her heart shattered. The man she loved was a phantom. The tears that came were not just of heartbreak, but of profound humiliation. Her first 48 hours in Dubai were a blur of despair. The luxurious hotel room Kamal had recommended became her prison. She cycled between desperate denial and brutal acceptance. Driven to understand, she turned her room into an investigation hub. Using reverse image search, she made a horrifying discovery. Kamal's photos were of a Turkish male model. His apartment was a stock image from a real estate listing. His office was a co-working space. Everything was fake. Worse, she found an online forum for victims of romance scams. Her story was not unique. She read accounts from German, Austrian, and Dutch women who had been seduced by the same Turkish businessman, using identical photos, stories, and even phrases. A blog by an Austrian woman named Helena detailed an 8-month relationship with Mehmet, who used the same story about a wife dying of cancer. Helena had lost 15,000 euros. The pattern was identical: build trust, create a fantasy, then lure them to a neutral country. Sabine realized she was a target of a sophisticated international criminal organization. They had studied her profile, identified her vulnerabilities, and executed a personalized, psychological seduction. Dubai was chosen to isolate her. But he never asked for money, she whispered, trying to find a distinction. Then she remembered. He had constantly asked about her finances, her job, the hospital's banking systems. It wasn't romantic interest. It was reconnaissance. The true horror dawned when she read that the scammers often escalated to blackmail after the initial meeting. They used intimate photos and personal details to extort victims for years. As this realization set in, her phone rang. An unknown Turkish number. "Hello, Sabine," said a calm, unfamiliar male voice with a Turkish accent. "We know you're in Dubai. We know you found out about Kamal. We need to talk. There's a way to resolve this that is better for everyone." Sabine's real nightmare was beginning. The caller, who identified himself as Hassan, was chillingly polite. "You invested a lot in this trip," he said. "It would be a shame to return empty-handed. We can compensate you." He proposed simple business tasks, discreet deliveries of documents for their German partners. Sabine, though terrified, was suspicious. "I just want to go home," she said firmly. Hassan's tone turned cold. "Sabine, you shared intimate photos, details about your family, confidential work information. It would be unfortunate if this reached your colleagues or your daughter, Charlotte." The threat was clear. She had given them more than enough ammunition to destroy her life. Over the next day, Sabine discovered the limits of her options. The German embassy was sympathetic but could only advise her to file a police report and go home. The Dubai police explained that without a physical crime committed on their soil, their hands were tied. Hassan called again, now openly intimidating. "You spoke to the embassy and the police. That was unnecessary. We are watching you. Stop creating problems and consider our offer. It's your only way out with your dignity intact." The confirmation that she was being watched sent a new wave of terror through her. That night, she made a desperate call to her daughter, Charlotte, a 28-year-old criminal lawyer. "Mom, this is more serious than you think," Charlotte said urgently. "They have our family's information. You need to come home now, and we need to contact the German cybercrime police." But when Sabine tried to change her flight, she discovered her German passport was missing from her hotel room. Nothing else was stolen, just her passport. Hassan called exactly 1 hour later. "Your passport is safe with us. It will be returned once our business cooperation is finalized." Sabine was now a prisoner. The next meeting with Hassan was in the civilized opulence of a 5-star hotel lobby. He was an impeccably dressed man who looked every bit the legitimate executive. He laid out the brutal truth. Sabine had not been a random target. Her profile as a respected nurse with access to hospital financial systems made her a valuable asset for money laundering. They planned to use her to move illicit funds through the hospital's complex international transactions. "If you cooperate," Hassan said with a cold smile, "you will receive 5% of each transaction, thousands of euros per month. After 1 year, you walk away free." The alternative was explicit. They would not only release her compromising information, but also fabricate evidence of her willing participation in their crimes from the beginning. Her career and reputation would be annihilated. Facing utter ruin, Sabine made the most courageous decision of her life. Instead of surrendering, she began to fight back. She meticulously documented everything. Screenshots, secret recordings of her calls with Hassan, his description, and photos of their meeting place. She feigned interest in his deal, all while gathering evidence. The next morning, she went back to the Dubai police, but this time as an informant. Commander Ahmed al-Rashid, a specialist in financial crime, recognized the pattern immediately. "This organization has been on our watch list for 18 months, he told her. "Your evidence could be the key." A coordinated sting was set up. Sabine, now under police protection, went to her final meeting with Hassan equipped with a hidden recorder. The arrest was dramatic. Hassan was caught red-handed handing her forged documents. Simultaneous raids across Dubai led to 12 more arrests and the seizure of computers, cloned cards, and fraudulent documents. 18 months later, back in Dusseldorf, Sabine Hoffman had become a recognized advocate against romance scams. Her courage in Dubai had helped dismantle a major criminal network, saving countless other women from a similar fate. "I thought I was chasing love," Sabine now reflects in her public lectures. "But what I found was a brutal lesson in how modern predators exploit our most basic human needs. The scar never fully heals, but I've turned my pain into protection for others." She leaves her audiences with a powerful, hard-won truth. True love doesn't require you to travel across the world to find a stranger.